Oh, man, did I call in?
You were not here.
Oh, I wasn't here.
Yeah, again.
Maybe it was me. I don't know. I was unaccounted for.
It didn't look like
You were watching something.
We all saw it. It didn't look like you.
Oh,
People start taking pictures and.
Ask the person this question on the
Yeah, people
screen.
on the room, they're like, what's going on, man? And they're like, bad porn. Like, disgusting. I'm like, the hour mark.
Matt just admitted
So
being
she
that
starts
person.
freaking.
How did they shut it? How did you shut it off? Just
We
cancel the
stopped the
Zoom?
meeting.
I shut my
Stop the Zoom.
laptop and that did it, do it. and
Yeah, it
you
was
could
still
still hear
blaring,
it.
and then she had to reopen it.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew it wasn't you, Matt, is because it didn't say pimp slap.
We had a Zoom call one time, and the last time I used Zoom was with my buddies. And my name on this for my buddies was my college buddies was Pimp Slap, and somehow I didn't change my account, and so we had an official city meeting, and it just said Pimp Slap. Like, oh gosh,
That's incredible.
So I guess Jeff is not coming or he's not.
Respond to my text, so.
All right, let's call this meeting to order. Please rise. We're gonna start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Reeser,
here.
Cook,
Here,
Lawson, Kramer,
here.
Bowman.
Okay. Approval of February 17, 2026 agenda. May I have a motion?
The move.
Second.
Go ahead.
General government, item 8, discuss possible action, insurance renewal and out-of-pocket expenses for employees. We do have, Mark White here with us. He's our insurance representative. We had Julia and I and Mark, met a couple weeks ago. This, looked at our, benefits, employee benefits and insurance, and something that hasn't been done in like probably 10, 15 years. So it was good opportunity to do so. And I was shocked in a good way because our employees are very well taken care of. And talking to Mark, I mean, what we offer our employees on their PPO plan, it's like better than John Deere's and City of Waterloo. It's just amazing. And while that is incredible to have that and be able to pass that along and be able to provide our city employees with that kind of coverage, it is also very expensive. And talking to Mark about our renewal coming up here soon, he said estimated costs for renewal, our premiums are about to increase about 10%.
That was, can I interrupt?
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry. I thought 10, it's about 12 is what the
12.
renewal, as it stands, if we leave everything as is, the renewal is 12% on just the base.
Yes. So, as you can see, for example, you got a copy of the current PPO plan. Deductible for single or family is 0. For a single plan, the city covers up to $4,000, family up to $8,000. Out-of-pocket max for a single is right now $500, family $1,000. The city covers $9,000 for a single and up to $18,000 for family. $10 copay. City covers 40 single, 100 family. And then emergency treatment, that 150, and it's for the insured, and the city covers $700. Chiropractic care, it's $10 for the insurer. The city will cover the 40, and so on, so on. So while we are discussing and working on our budget for next fiscal year. We're trying to be very financially responsible, and we're looking at ways to reduce costs, save money. We're trying to balance the budget so we don't work on a deficit we've done in the past. So the reason for this discussion with the council is to look at our current PPO plan and those numbers that you see there in each section reading on the side. It's what we were just thinking about proposing for changes and passing some of that cost back to the employees. And even then, we feel that they're still getting a great benefit package compared to what other cities are offering for their city employees. Even implementing those changes, we're still offering something that is very good. So this is open to discussion. Ask any questions, and Mark's here to answer any.
I've got a question, and we pay for our insurance out of pocket and just kind of, we don't have, so I don't understand how these benefits work, because I'm not personally part of anything like this. So like, just as an example, I heard what Hector was saying. Just as an example, take emergency treatment. Explain what is 150 and what is 700.
So 150 is what a city employee would pay for the emergency room.
Yep.
700 is what it actually costs. So I didn't want to interrupt you when you said it, but the red numbers are actual numbers.
Those are in black.
That's basically what the emergency room gets reimbursed for.
That's what the city's gonna pay for the emergency room visit, $700.
Okay,
So essentially it's 850.
No, no.
No, it's 7.
Oh.
550. 700 is the total.
got it.
150 is what the employees see. So everything in black is what the employees see. That's how they see their benefits.
Okay.
In
The red is what the city.
In red is how the city sees it.
Great.
That's the real plan, that's the base plan.
So like, if you go up to doctor office copay,
Mhm.
why is it 40 and 100?
So, $40 is for your primary doctor, non
Yep.
wellness visit. It's, something wrong with you, you go to your primary doctor, it's $40.
Okay.
If you go to a specialist, like a dermatologist or a cardiologist, it's $100
And so these written in numbers
or suggestions.
are suggestions for the black numbers or the red numbers?
For the black numbers.
Okay,
Yes.
they're on top, they're over the red numbers.
It was just me jotting things.
Okay, got it. I understand completely what you're talking about then.
Sorry.
No, that's helpful.
So who does this plan cover for city employees? Is it a subset or is it
Full-time and three-fourths time employees.
not including police or
I
does
think it
include
includes police. It's
every,
yes.
okay. And what is, do we know the actual numbers that the city pays in aggregate?
I figured, I would look back, I'm guessing that we paid about, the last 3 years, it was in the ballpark of 35,000
Per year
Per
or
year.
total?
for the last few years, per year,
Per year.
For insurance.
for just that part that we're buying down. Just that part that we're buying down, for what we pay for the 90%, we pay 90% of our premium. For, like, for me, I'm on mine alone, so I pay 10% of what
Yep.
we get billed. For like Jake, he's 90% for him, and then his wife and daughter are 50%.
Mhm.
So that, what we pay Wellmark is a lot more.
Over 100, right?
I had it pulled up at one point.
So one of my questions, and probably yours, Marcus, was gonna be, you said it's 12% increase if we keep it the way that it has been.
So like right now, premiums are running about 14,800 a month.
Okay,
That's just for premiums. That's just to have the base plan. That doesn't include what the city buys down,
For the city of Hudson, 14,000.
$800 per month.
so my question is, if we were to adopt these new numbers, that cost obviously comes down a little bit.
That cost does not come down at all. No. So the
The 35,000 will come down.
35,000.
Oh, I understand.
Those are what the city's been paying in claims. So if an employee goes to the emergency room, the city's on the hook for $550 in claims. That makes sense.
Mhm.
So that the 35,000 is roughly what the city's been paying.
And is it different, like, if Jake cuts his hand off on the job versus like at home messing around?
Yeah.
Like, we would pay fully
It would, yeah, that would come under work comp.
work count, okay. No, I mean,
Yeah, don't.
knock on wood. Like,
Has there been any analysis to see what that 35,000 a year would become? Like, using past numbers?
you don't
No,
know.
not really. I would know better. It's hard because the group size is small, so we can't really get who spent what and what it got spent on. That would come down, yes, because the employees would be paying a little bit more of that. You know, I think.
It's not gonna come down to zero, but it's
No.
gonna come,
No, the only way it would come down to zero is
They paid the whole thing.
if we gave the employees
yeah.
the numbers in red,
Got it.
essentially.
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if it's
No, that's a great question.
30,000 or 10,000, right, that you're gonna be writing a check and. I don't know if I can
Plus, we
really
have
see
one employee who's eligible for
Medicare.
Medicare,
This is
And right
what I
now
brought
we're-
up a couple times.
and then we're
You guys,
we're paying about $1,400 a month just for that person.
I can get her down to like 300.
And we can get that down to 300, $400. But we need to talk to that employee too.
So the proposal here, I don't know what we're doing, discussion or what, but like the proposal is to do these numbers.
To either keep the same and knowing that it's a 12% increase and it's gonna increase our expenses, or propose to amend
That
some of
12% increase doesn't mean that we're gonna pay 3,000
No,
more.
no, we don't know.
The-
We have-
the 12%
if we have a good
is
year of
what-
Claims and that 35,000 could be hardly anything.
The 12% is the premium increase,
Yes,
okay,
that's just the thing.
which comes from the employee.
Most of it comes from the city for an individual. 90% of that individual premium is paid by the city.
Okay,
And then if they've got family members on it, then the city pays 50% of those family members as well.
okay, so the 14,800 is the number that will come out.
Between the city and the, yeah, what did I say, 14.8, if we renew as is, it'll be 17 and 278.
And that's the 90%
Sorry,
portion?
15,650.
15,650.
Yeah, I'm just giving you like
Yeah,
whole numbers. for
That's
this.
fine, I'm not gonna hold you.
And that's the 90% portion or the 100% portion,
100%.
of which we pay 90%?
For individuals, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or 50%?
Yes.
Yep, I got it.
Yep. Sorry, I don't know if we're like under oath ready.
No, you're. If so, we're all
Yeah,
screwed.
so you're
Jeff just joined the meeting on Zoom, just so you guys know.
A suggestion that I had made to Hector and to Julie, most organizations, whether it be businesses or cities or whatever, offer the HMO. So I guess I should go back. Most people in the city have a PPO plan, which it gives them a bigger network to choose from, which includes Mayo Clinic, which is why a lot of people would like the PPO plan. It also gives them out of network benefits. So if they went to Mayo and they got a bad answer or something they didn't like, and Cleveland Clinic is in network, well, then they go to Cleveland Clinic. They're gonna pay more because everything costs more when it's, if it's in network, it won't cost more. If they wanted to go somewhere that's out of network, they can do so, it'll just cost more, and the city's reimbursing for that. Most places these days offer the HMO plan to everyone as a base. If they would like the PPO plan to have that more access and more privileges, they can pay the extra premium for that. That's something to think about. If we did that, if everyone was on the HMO plan, it's 2.5% decrease. So the difference between the HMO and PPO under most coverages is about 20% cost. So something to think about.
This whole system is so bad.
It's totally, I'm first one to tell you that, yeah. If we could if we could make this all so it was just single payer, I'd be happy to be out of job. I'll find something. I do lots of stuff, but yeah, it's not an ideal system at the moment.
Any other,
What's the proposal here?
any other questions? Again, I mean, we're discussing,
We're still really early.
we're still really early. We have time. It's in what, June, right?
The renewal is June first. We have to have it into Walmart by May 20th. So we've got, and we talked about this last year. I know Mr. Tracer was in there, so, you know, we wanted to do this, and like I said, I reached out to Hector after the first of the year, after we had some time to figure out what he's doing, all that kind of stuff, so, I don't think tonight, at least in my opinion, I don't know tonight that we make, you know, this is what we're gonna do. I think it was just kind of discussion and see where the city council's at, and see.
If one of my questions is gonna be, if our costs are going up 12%, which they are,
Yes.
there's no way around that, unless we do the HMO PPO thing.
Correct.
Then how much of that 12% do we earn back by adjusting these co-pays or whatever they are?
Like, you can't, it's all variable.
You don't know.
Right.
But you could kind of have like, is it a tiny difference or is it a legit
Depends on the
difference
year,
or a
too,
big
you
difference?
know?
Yeah, I understand that.
I mean, it depends on somebody's health. I mean, if,
But I mean, over the past 5 years or 10 years, we've probably had a trend line of claims.
like I said, where I got back to about 3 years worth of, and it was about 35,000 a year. I mean, give or take a little bit, but.
And so I just wonder if we applied these numbers to those cases.
It's gonna be harder because like, 3 years ago, the max out of pocket was like 8,000 instead of 9,500.
Got it.
So as we've been keeping these caps,
Yep.
the city's.
The
caps
maxes have gone
The
up.
maxes have been going up, yeah. And full disclosure, just so nobody thinks it's me, I brought this up several times over the last few years with the previous city clerk and was told, no, we're keeping everything as is. So I
Okay.
never really spoke directly to the mayor or to city council.
Yep.
I just.
Yeah.
So,
And we know that, you know, everything's going up.
At a
here,
minimum,
including
we're due to increase those copay numbers.
Yeah,
I think they need to.
and I don't think that anything, like, these were just ballpark, but I still feel, you know, I'm the money person, so and I feel like this is, cause it is a benefit that we are taking away, but it's nothing drastic to where people are gonna be like, this is ridiculous, I need to find a new job. It's just slight adjustments to try to offset a little bit of what the city is taking on and absorbing.
In addition to these numbers, when we make the decision, I would like to see like the per pay impact to employees as well, whatever that. You know,
You what, their premium?
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what it is now
Yeah.
versus what it would be.
One thing you could do is if just offering the HMO to everyone paying for that, and then offering the upgrade to the PPO, I don't see any reason to change these numbers. It could be something that can be done next year. I think this has to be at least a couple of year process,
Agreed.
you know, just, I don't want to cause any strife or, you know, upsetness with your employees, but I also don't want to see the city.
How many people are on our insurance rolls?
I think there is,
I thought it was
people, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 employees, and then some have families.
Yep.
Yeah. there's
So maybe
employees.
20 or 30 people, 35, 40 people, something like that.
Here, I can tell you that real quick.
About 30.
Yeah, and so I would just wonder, out of those 30 or 32 people, how many of them have even taken advantage of the PPO network?
I doubt very few.
Danny?
Going to this May too,
Okay,
going back to May, so.
okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
What is the difference between the HMO and the PPO?
So the HMO network is every hospital in the state of Iowa. 95, 96% of doctors, the few that aren't in network with HMO chiropractors, almost every time.
So what would change on this paper for these in-network? between
So the right-hand side would just not exist. That right-hand, the far right column,
The out-of-network,
right, there wouldn't be any out-of-network coverage, but
these would stay the same.
yes, those would, those would say the same.
But you could buy into your out-of-network coverage.
Correct.
Do we have any idea for how much?
Yeah, are you Dan Gates? What? Okay, I saw it the first day and I saw Dan Gates. So, I'm talking in whole numbers right now, not Dan's portion. So renewal, let's see here. It would be, so the HMO is $688 a month. Renewal for Dan, the PPO would be $824, so about $140
A month.
a month. So his portion of that would be about 14. 10%. So it would change your cost about $14.
Oh, I see. Cause we cover 90% of that.
Oh, wait, no, sorry.
No, he paid the whole.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah,
the whole-
Yeah.
And for like me, for family right now, I'm paying 50/50 for my wife and child, and then 10% for myself.
Correct.
Well, like you said, we don't need to make a decision.
No,
I'd
this
be-
is
I'd
just
be interested
discussion,
in-
just
Something to think about, open a dialogue.
think about, we still wanna be able to, I mean, it's a great thing to say that we can offer that to our employees. Our employees are very well taken care of with the kind of benefits that they get. That being said, though, just discussion that it's going up, and so we're gonna, depending on the year, some days will be more than other out of,
Renewals have been
premiums.
Between 6% and 8% for the last 3 or 4 years.
And we haven't done anything. We haven't revised this or looked at this in a long time.
Did that decision previously come to this council, or did our city administrator just handle that?
Apparently, our city clerk just
My
renewed it.
understanding was that we would present this, we present to her. She took it to the mayor of the council. I don't know where it went after me.
Sure.
And then as long as it was under 10%, she's like, well, we're just gonna renew it. So I'd always show up, I've been to every meeting, just to answer questions or to be available, but.
One thought that crossed my mind is, I wonder if it's the kind of thing we could grandfather the way that we've been doing it in for people that are here, like Dan.
Yeah,
And then for new employees, we do the HMO only. Is that a discrimination thing, or can we do that?
I can get back to you on that. That would probably be a great question for Heather.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I do, totally.
Because
As far
these
as I
guys were
know-
hired with the understanding that the benefit was gonna be X.
Not that it's a big change, but the new hire we just got, that was part of the reason he took a pay cut to come here. Was because we had such a good benefit package.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great to know. Yeah, I mean,
I don't remember from my nursing, which is kind of a more limiting who you can see, is it the PPO or HMO is more
think of
limited?
HMO as like a home network. In this case, it's, there are skinnier networks out there, but the Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield HMO network is every hospital in the state of Iowa. If you're out of the state and something happens, if you step off a curb and you roll your ankle, or you're feeling chest pains, you go to the emergency room, you go to urgent care, you're treated as if you're in network. It's not
For
your
emergency.
for emergencies, for medically necessary things, yeah. So it's not like you wouldn't have coverage if you were out of state. You wouldn't have coverage if you were out of state and you wanted to go see a primary doctor because you have a bad sore throat or something, but you wouldn't do that anyway.
Right.
So that's kind of the limitation.
That's what I couldn't remember which one was more limiting, was the
The HMO.
HMO was more limiting as to
Yeah.
where you can go and who you can see.
But in Iowa, like I said, it's not like, if you're in the HMO, you can only go to Unity Point or to Mercy One. You can absolutely go everywhere. Iowa City, everything in Iowa City is included in that network. And with the HMO, if you have something that's going on, let's just call it a rare cancer diagnosis, and nobody in the network can handle it, can, figure it out, make it work, they're gonna send you out of network. And then you're gonna be treated as if you're in network. So you'd still be paying the in-network, dollars. So it's not, you're not taking away, I mean, there is some things taken away, obviously, with the, just the size of the network, but it's not optional.
Okay. I'd like to see some more numbers when we do make that decision. I'm also sympathetic to the fact that we didn't give people raises for a year and this is another hit to them, right? So,
Absolutely.
so make sure we're being fair.
And again, this is, I don't get to vote, so this is just letting the council know that this is happening. So, you guys make a decision and whatever, I mean, again,
I'll
it's,
relay that to employees. I'm
it's-
happy to.
it's great that we provide that to our employees, and if we wanna keep it that way, fine, we just have to,
How do we make sure that this does come to council every year if it hasn't?
It has to.
It has to.
It has to,
Okay.
What, I think what happened, cause I was around, is it was just kind of.
minimized.
Yeah, it was just presented as, hey, we gotta just renew this every year, da here, yay.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It wasn't like looked at carefully. And I just think that it's gonna be partly your role to make sure we look at things carefully.
100%. And you know, I'm just doing my due diligence. This is my job as the clerk, as the money person, to be able to point out and show you guys where we can save money. It is completely your decision. There's options is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm doing, making sure you guys know.
All right.
all right, moving on. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.
Appreciate that information.
What is the renewal date?
We have to have the, on May 10th. That's the weekend, the day was a little.
Okay,
Okay,
have a good rest of your night. Thank you.
thank you. All right, item B, discussion possible action, discuss possible levy rates and additional expenses to levy for. Do we have a motion?
We don't need a motion.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, discussion, we,
I'm gonna get low.
I'm gonna leave in like 5 minutes. Well, so she's getting this set up. I talked to her on the phone a little bit today to find out what's going on with this. In general, what makes me nervous about increasing our levy rate? And I'm not opposed to this. I'm not trying to throw a wet blanket on it, but it's been my position since the beginning of this financial crisis that digging out of this hole is gonna be done not on the backs of taxpayers, because taxpayers didn't get us in this problem. And so, I'm sensitive to it looking like, or it actually being us raising taxes on citizens because we're in a financial problem versus continuing to tighten the belt and be really austere on spending. That's basically what I said to you on the phone, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's generally where I'm coming from. I just want to say that while I'm in person before I leave.
yeah.
And then,
No, and I agree, and this affects all of us here, me included. The last thing I want my first year as mayor to raise taxes, you know, I don't want that. At the same time, you know, we cannot continue to, you know, work on a deficit, on a negative budget, and not make any changes and expect things to get better and change. We'll just dig in a deeper hole. It is not fair to the taxpayer, but something's gotta give. So if we don't do this, then we need to cut some other places, other spending, and that means are we gonna get rid of, I don't know, employees, police officers? I mean, you name it. There's so many other, we will have to go through department by department and see where we can save money.
Yeah, it's unfortunate we don't know exactly why we're in the situation still. I imagine it's a combination of too many capital projects at one time or within a short period of time. Plus, we set a budget and then we overspent on some of the, like, on a smaller scale than capital projects. So I suspect we haven't set our tax levy appropriately for the past several years. Plus, we're spending more than
Yeah,
what we budgeted for.
so they,
So like, I don't think we, like, I'm seeing some of these numbers. Thanks, Julie, for printing these, like,
yeah,
some of these levy rates are like $17, $20
we,
per.
we haven't changed the levy in like 10 years.
So I don't think we need to go from, what are we at, 11?
Yeah.
I don't think we need to go from like 11 to 17, but like probably does warrant some adjustment for, I mean, just inflation alone is,
Mhm.
requires those things. But I completely agree. When we get into these budgets, we need to be very tight belt. Make sure that people don't think that we've had to raise taxes because of past problems. It's because things are more expensive, but we're doing things to offset some of those things, which includes making some tough decisions with the budgets that we need to set. And unfortunately, we're gonna have department heads and employees that are gonna be frustrated by, I think, some of that belt tightening, but I think it's the right thing to do for our taxpayers.
So I got a question. The last time we raised taxes, when was that?
When they were raised was,
What was this question?
2015, Jeff is asking when was the last time we raised taxes?
when we raised them, they've been going down since, in recent history, the highest rate was 11.61, and that was in 2019. Then it dropped to 11.4, then it dropped to 11.39, 11.38, 11.36, and then it's been 11.36 for 3 years. And then,
Jeff, the-
then last year it was dropped to 11.35.
The last time it was raised significantly, Jeff, was 2015. It looks like we went from 973 to 1103.
Yep. And that looks
Yeah.
like,
I just
Okay.
wondered on that, when we did. I know we always tried, Matt, to keep it down or lower it where we could or needed to because of the state. But it's hard to keep, potholes filled, fires put out, and people from speeding if we don't have our safety department around either.
Agree.
Yeah.
and just so you guys know, from my understanding, the budget that's been being, like, for at least 10 years, if not more, the budgets were upside down, like, in which it can happen, but ours will potentially be because of the fire truck this year. So just imagine, we're putting in for these taxes, right? The fire truck money we got last fiscal year. We have the money, we're not spending it until 2 fiscal years later. So it shows up as money being spent, but it's being paid for by money that's been holding for him, right? Or for the truck. So that kind of turns it upside down. So there's a valid explanation. You can explain why. But for 10 years where you're approving upside down budgets and then depleting what reserves that were there, and then that every year a little bit gets taken away, a little bit more gets taken away, and never having tried to offset any of that by increasing these, that's how I think it can happen, per se.
When will we see the proposed budgets?
We're gonna start talking about that probably at the next meeting. We've got to start some
Monday.
budget conversation. I'm gonna have to start planning more special meetings to get in here.
Yeah, so the discussion today is just discussion.
Levy rate, I have to have levy rates decided by March 5th.
What's your proposed number?
My proposed number, which, okay, so let me explain that to you. I have 147,000 in there for liability and property insurance, which is our port liability. And that's a guesstimate. That is going up as well, so that I don't know, but that's a good number to leave there. We can just do that. But then there is the FICA and IPERS and employee benefits, which is a total of 533,000. And then we have our levies, and so it's 14.299.
But last
And that
time, it was
assumes-
like 270, or how much were $2.70 per thousand?
For
What
which-
was, from like last year or the currently to the proposed? How much was that? Was that?
Which is 2.95.
$2?
$2.95 per
Per thousand.
thousand, but then there's your rollback and then, so like I was talking to Matt earlier, you know, your total value of your house, you look at your assessed value on Blackhawk County. There's the rollback. I don't know what the percent is, but there is a rollback that the county, that the state rolls that off of your assessed value. And then you have your rate, so it would be the 14. But this, for instance, Matt and I were doing math. I think I did 3%, right? I think is what I said when we were on the phone
I
earlier.
don't remember.
After doing the math, it was like for $190,000 house, it was $50 a year increase. So there is a formula. I have been busy all day and I have not found out the formula, but I can give you, but you know, this 2.95% isn't like going to explode into this massive increase. It's going to cover $750,000 worth of bills for the city.
What,
I don't love it. I'll call you.
Okay, but let's just wait until it goes or.
Yeah.
Because we need well, it's discussion. We're not voting unless you guys want to, but I need a quorum. So let's wait.
Julie,
until-
is that rate, Julie,
Okay,
But
is that the bottom dollar?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I mean, 299, right? You suggested?
299.
295?
What,
295.
what if that,
Increase of
okay,
2.95%, yeah.
what if it was 2? What happens?
We would have to pay, I'd have to do adjustments and then, I mean, that's just money that we'd have to pay out of our 946,000 that we get for property tax dollars.
Okay.
So if I were to adjust. Yeah. A lot of calculating to get these numbers. So I don't want to lose them. So that would be an additional, I'm gonna say, let's do 135. That is still not enough. So. I were to do, if this, I got it to 13.38 and it's 11.35. And that is then us paying out of our levy, our property tax dollars, an additional 100, I had to take off 112, almost 113,000.
So, two things quickly. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Number one, I'm not throwing shade on you, Julie. I just get nervous when we crunch numbers like in the moment. Like, I want to see what the actual numbers are. It is $180,000. That difference between 2.95 and 2 or whatever it was. If we're gonna raise the levy rate, I think, like to Marcus's point earlier and what I was saying earlier, if we raise the levy rate, it needs to be accompanied by a pretty serious cutting of spending. And we need to be able to show taxpayers that we're not just continuing business as usual in every department, and raising their taxes to give we need to accompany a modest levy rate increase with a pretty significant cut in whatever. And Hector listed a few things, which I think all those things need to be on the table.
And that's just it. What my point here is that in order to try to get back to functional, to having reserves, to having the money in the bank that we are supposed to have, we have to do both. It can't be, it's not one versus the other, it's both.
Yeah, right now, there's nobody gets reserves,
There aren't any.
there aren't any. Like, the police department requested money for reserves. That most likely is not gonna happen. First, the city will need to start building reserves before any other department could. I mean, especially if we wanna, improve our credit,
We have to get our credit score
our
back up.
credit
and
score
make
back up,
bonding
and then
cheaper.
if we want to bond in the future for like Washington
Washington
Street and
Street.
stuff like that, I mean, we want to be able to bond at a lower rate. So both things need to happen, and it's
We need to get that reserve in place, and then we eventually need to have a plan in place for police and fire vehicle
yeah,
sunsetting. Eventually,
Yeah.
those things have life cycles.
yeah.
Once we get to a comfortable reserve, that's essentially what you do. I mean, you
Yeah.
start.
Yep.
Every year you put towards your vehicle replacement fund, and then that is allocating towards when you need to make a big purchase, and then you've got that money sitting there.
So I think what you're saying is we're not just gonna raise the levy to meet what we're paying out today in budget and what we've been paying, spending in the budget. We need to make sure that budget is what we need, nothing more. Which means that some of that stuff's gonna have to get tightened up further.
Very tight.
And I think the levy's gonna have to come up a little bit to support just that's the cost of things.
Because here's the thing, is that whatever we take out of that number, that's less money coming in and more money coming out, right? So it's in the situation that we're in, and it's always a variable. Those are always variables. So in 2 years, when we're like, okay, maybe we feel like this is not as bad of a dire situation. We know where our financial footing is. The audits are done, and we can finally be able to breathe and start planning. Then we can be like, all right, let's knock this back down, because we know we're sound.
And we have some TIF stuff coming up
Right,
the books.
we're gonna have a lot of those, once those
Hopefully, we'll
those-
pay off a bond too.
two bonds are
two
gonna be
bonds,
paid off.
and then
We've
the
got
TIF
some
money coming
sunsetting
in.
TIFs. So once those TIFs sunset and we're not paying out those people, we're not paying the developers that, 70%, how Maggie explains it, then that goes into the big pot again, but then we're getting that money. We're getting more of our property tax dollars. So once those TIFs start meeting their max, that's when we start to see our top number hit some of those other, because these cities are all within
Yeah.
500.
Yeah.
And some of them are bringing in $1.6 million in property tax. So, I mean, we could be there soon,
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the lack of commercial
right?
properties in town, a lot of the tax burning falls on the residential. That's
And,
why we need to bring more businesses and commercials.
Hector, I think the biggest thing as us as a council, we need to reflect, like Julie just said, it was $50 for a $200,000 house. We need to make it transparent because, the complaint always is you raised your taxes. My taxes went up $2,000 last year. Well, let's break that down. how much of that was the city, how much was that the school, and how much was that Blackhawk County?
And
You know,
unfortunately-
they all point it back to the city, and it's not the city. The other ones raised it too.
Yeah, the current state mandated way of doing that isn't digestible by, and that's on, that's
I can't
on,
explain to somebody over the phone, like how their property.
yeah,
taxes
and
are.
that's on.
No,
the
no, and I know that.
Ended this year. I think that'll get passed. It won't help us this year. But I think it'll get passed and be available next year where it's much more consumable. But you're right, Jeff. We have to find a way outside of the state required form that gets mailed out by March 20th or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
To tell that story.
Because I think it's important. Otherwise, they're going to look at us, like Matt's saying, and man, you know, my taxes went up $1,500. Well, it wasn't just the city; it was a lot of other things in there, and we're not getting the $1,500. You know, just so however we can be transparent, I think is very important for us right now.
Yeah, and same thing. I think being sympathetic to our residents, they just took a property tax increase to pay for the school bond. So they felt that a couple years ago, and now we're asking for another adjustment.
It affects all of us.
That's why I don't think you could put the best messaging possible behind it, and I don't think it's gonna penetrate at all. People are gonna be pissed no matter what. And I'm not coming at this from an electoral perspective, because I couldn't give two craps if I get elected again. In fact, I'm trying to not get elected. But I just don't think, even if we message it like a marketing firm that works with Apple, that message is not going to penetrate the public, and they're going to be honked off no matter what, which is why I would advocate for less of a levy increase and more of a cut in spending.
But then what do you suggest? We would need to go through every single department and say, hey, cut even more than what you already have. And
Yeah.
that might include personnel. Do you want to do that?
If you're asking me if we should cut personnel in certain departments, I've got some ideas, but we don't want to get into that right now. I mean, I don't want any of it, but it's what we're up against. You know what I mean?
And the other part that we have to remember too is the state is making it really hard for small cities. So they are taking away money that they're making it harder for us to get money. So the only way for cities to recoup and the revenues that they're cutting is to raise taxes to give ourselves back what the state is taking away. That's another issue.
Yeah.
And the reason, I think to state a little bit, the reason the state is doing that is because cities have lost their minds in spending and haven't had a lot of accountability. So the state is stepping in and saying, we're going to force you to spend less money. Which I generally agree with, just because if cities are going to be out of control, somebody needs to step in and say, stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wherever we land, it's somewhere in between a huge levy increase and a huge budget decrease, right? It's both. I think we need to see what is being proposed from the department heads. I think we're gonna need some working sessions to really dive into those numbers. But I mean, if I'm doing the math, Julie, you need this number in like 2 weeks.
I need this number. So we'll have our next meeting on Monday. If we want to talk about it again, then we need to have another special meeting.
I don't know. I know we have two of our department heads here, but I think we need all of our department heads to come and talk through those numbers with us.
We will, yeah. Yeah, we'll probably schedule a special budget session where it's department heads come in and go over their numbers and
Okay.
I've got those spreadsheets that I sent
Yeah.
out to you, but
Yeah. What we cannot do is continue doing the same thing and expect results.
I agree.
Expect things to get better.
I agree.
Yeah, and as much as I would like to say, oh no, let's reduce taxes or, that's, that's not an option. It would be great for all of us. But city-wise to be able to continue operating, no. So we need to come out with solutions, look at those numbers and meet with department heads and see where we stand. And if we can make it all work with cut as much as possible in the budget so we can, not have to do it, I'll be happy. It'll be great, hopefully, but I think we might have to do both. Just being completely honest and transparent.
This is gonna be uncomfortable for a while. I think
Mhm.
that's just the reality of it for everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, moving on, so we can get out of here, so you can go to the game.
Basketball game.
Item C, discussion, verbiage or potential adoption of social media policy. We have two rough drafts in front of you. It was brought out to our attention and some of the posts or, pictures or AI generated stuff, was considered not appropriate for city pages, so it's just saying, it sucks and it's sad that at this day and age we have to have these kind of conversations, but it's just common sense and we're proposing, discussing, see if we want to adopt a social media policy that involves not just our city Hudson page and a Facebook page and YouTube, any social media, but also other departments, web pages and Facebook pages and posts and stuff like that. So
So this covers our city page, our police department page, the library page, our fire department page,
yeah,
posts
Parks and Rec,
by those pages.
anything associated.
Matt asked earlier, he's still gonna post whatever the heck he wants, on his own page. So.
Well, he can continue to log in with those names and on a Zoom meeting, but I don't know how that's gonna look on you, Matt.
I got a question. Is there anything about any of these policies that we're knowingly not in compliance with?
The only one that I've known is the AI generated picture that the police department posted on their Facebook page of all them, being characterized or like cartoonized, so whatever, and some people complained that it wasn't appropriate, it wasn't professional, and I know we cannot please everybody, and
Yeah, how do we control for that?
someone always is gonna have a complaint or an opinion or something,
Uh-huh.
but again, this is just trying to put a policy in place so everybody knows what to do or what not to do, and
If we have social media within the city, we should have a social media policy. I mean, it's too broad of a spectrum for some that without having a policy just to cover our own butts.
you would think that a council member would log in on a Zoom meeting with his own name, and it doesn't happen, right? So that's why we have this things in place.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Are we gonna pass this tonight? Do you want a motion?
No, this is just discussion unless you guys, I want you guys to read it. We still have to have Heather, review it and approve it before we make a motion or a resolution and approve it, so.
Understood.
I'm generally for it. I like everything that's written on there.
Okay. Any other questions about that? Any other discussion? All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you, guys.